A black hotel maid answered a call in Dutch in front of a millionaire. He was so shocked he asked to see her immediately. Welcome to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video to get a chance to win $100. Let's begin. The woman was working as a maid at a luxurious 5-star hotel in Amsterdam when the unexpected happened. She had been employed by the hotel for over 2 years, and she knew the job very well. Even though her co-workers often complained about how exhausting it was to clean up after the guests, she never did. She took pride in her work and always made sure everything was spotless. But that day, something strange occurred. She was cleaning the room of a millionaire when her phone rang. She was taken aback since she never took calls while on the job. But she excused herself and went out into the hallway to talk. The only problem was that she forgot to switch her phone from English to Dutch, and when she answered the call, the man on the other end heard her speak English with an American accent. This made him even more intrigued and curious. He wanted to know who she was and what nationality she was. And so she told him all about herself, her life, her hopes and dreams. They talked for hours and they became fast friends. But then suddenly the millionaire arrived in the room and saw them talking together. Couldn't believe his eyes. Had no idea that his maid could speak such perfect English. He was curious to know more about her, so he asked her to come to his office so they could talk. She was nervous, but she agreed. When she arrived at his office, he offered her a seat and then asked her why she lied to him about not speaking English. She was confused. She didn't lie to him. She simply answered his question honestly. She told him that she was from America and that she had been working at the hotel for 2 years. He looked at her in disbelief. He couldn't understand why she would hide such an important fact from him. She could tell that he was disappointed in her, but she had no idea why. She thought that he would be happy for her, that he would congratulate her on her fluency in English. But instead he was furious. He started yelling at her, demanding answers, but she had no idea what he was talking about. All she wanted to do was go back to work and finish cleaning his room. He continued to yell at her, and she started crying. She didn't understand what she had done wrong. She loved her job, and she was proud of it. She had never had any problems before. But the more she tried to explain, the angrier he got. And finally, she ran out of the room, sobbing uncontrollably. When the billionaire realized what he had done, he felt terrible. He had been so rude to her. He had no right to yell at her or demand answers from her. He had been unfair. And so he decided to make things right. He got up from his chair and went out into the hallway to find her. He wanted to apologize to her and offer her a sincere explanation. But when he found her, he couldn't bring himself to say it. He didn't know what to say. He had never been good with words, especially when it came to apologizing. He felt terrible, but he just couldn't bring himself to say sorry. Instead, he simply walked past her without saying a word. She looked up at him, surprised to see him there, but he kept walking without saying a word. He felt awful. He wanted to talk to her, but he just couldn't bring himself to say anything. He turned around and went back to his room. He sat down on the bed and thought about what he had done. He knew that he had to apologize to her, but he just didn't know how. Suddenly he had an idea. He got up from the bed and went over to the dresser. He opened one of the drawers and took out his wallet. He took out all the money inside and laid it on the bed. He then went over to the phone and dialed the number. When she answered, he introduced himself and asked if he could come over to her house. She was confused, but she agreed. When he arrived at her house, he knocked on the door. When she opened it, he handed her the money and said sorry. He explained to her that he didn't mean to yell at her or demand answers from her. He had been unfair and he knew it. He hoped that she could forgive him. She looked at him in surprise. She couldn't believe that he had come to her house to apologize. She had thought that he would never speak to her again. She felt bad for him, but she also felt bad for herself. She had worked hard to learn English and she was proud of it. She didn't want anyone to think that she was lying about her nationality. He could see that she was upset, and he felt terrible. He knew that he had hurt her feelings, and he hoped that she could forgive him. He told her that he understood how she felt, and that he would never do it again. He promised to treat her with respect and kindness from now on. She looked at him for a moment, then took the money and said okay. She knew that she should be angry at him, but she couldn't stay mad at him. He had apologized, and that was all that mattered. She knew that he didn't mean to hurt her feelings, and she forgave him. He smiled at her and thanked her. He knew that he didn't deserve her forgiveness, but he was grateful that she had given it to him. He got up to leave, but she stopped him. She told him that she wanted to apologize for her part in it too. She knew that she should have been more understanding and patient with him. She hadn't been, and she was sorry. He looked at her in surprise. He didn't think that she would apologize to him. He had been so rude to her, and he didn't deserve it. But he accepted her apology and told her that he forgave her too. They stood there for a moment, then he left. He went back to his room and finished packing his things. He had been staying at the hotel for a few days while he was in town for a business meeting. He had enjoyed his stay, but he was ready to go home now. When he checked out, he asked for the manager. He wanted to speak to him about his experience at the hotel. He told the manager about his encounter with the maid and how it had made him feel. He praised her for her kindness and understanding and asked that she be given a raise. The manager thanked him for his feedback and promised to take care of it. He knew that the maid was a valuable employee, and he wanted to keep her happy. Gave her a raise, and she was thrilled. She could unbelieve that her boss was willing to listen to his complaint and do something about it. She was grateful for the raise, but she was also grateful for the opportunity to speak to the boss and express her concerns. From that day on, she worked even harder than before. She was proud of her job, and she loved making the guests happy. And the millionaire never forgot about her. Every time he stayed at the hotel, he asked for her specifically. He knew that she would take great care of him and make sure that he had everything he needed. In fact, he became so fond of her that he eventually hired her as his personal maid. She was thrilled when he offered her the job. She couldn't believe that he had chosen her to be his personal maid. She knew that she would have to work hard, but she was excited to take on the challenge, and she didn't disappoint him. She was the perfect maid. She was always on time, she was always prepared, and she was always willing to go the extra mile. He was so happy to have her working for him. He knew that he could trust her, and that she would never let him down. Years passed, and the two remained close friends. He often told her how much he appreciated her and how grateful he was to have her in his life. She blushed when he praised her, but she knew that she deserved it. She had worked hard to get where she was today, and she was proud of it. And as for the call that started it all, she often wondered what would have happened if she had answered it in English instead of Dutch. Would she still be working at the hotel? Would she still be friends with the millionaire? Who knows? All she knows is that she wouldn't trade her experiences for the world. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like this video. And don't forget to watch the next video.